So I am going to tell a story about how I started my company, Mack Maids. Mack Maids. So I had actually had multiple spine surgeries, and my back was a hot mess. Clifton and I had been married a few years, and shortly after, I just could not maintain cleaning my house. It was just too much work. It was too hard. And so one day he comes home and says, "Hey, great news. I got your house cleaners." World of difference. Like our marriage improved. It took the stress off me cleaning my house all day long and then being in so much pain that like I couldn't do anything else. Like I couldn't have fun with my kids. I was kind of a brat when at the end of the day, because I was in so much pain just from cleaning. So fast forward, after 5 years of marriage, we moved to the East Coast. And when I got there, I tried a few house cleaners out, wasn't really happy. And I just thought to myself, you know what? What if I just hired some girls, trained them, clean my house the way like I would want my house cleaned, and just start my own cleaning company. So I was on the treadmill one day with my girlfriend telling her my great idea, and she turns to me and she goes, "Yeah," she goes, "You should totally start this." And she's like, "And I'll be your first customer." So then I went, "All right, where do we start?" And as y'all know, pink is like my favorite color. I surround myself with pink. Everything around me is pink. Um, and that is because with all the spine surgeries I've had, like surrounding myself with pink just kind of helped my energy and vibe while I was recovering from all my surgeries and just being down and being bedridden. And so pink it is. So I thought, okay, well, the image of my company, what kind of image do I want to have? I want to have professional. I want them to look cute when they're working, like in their matching bags and their matching outfits. And so anyway, I really started with my last name was Mack, so that's how I did Mack Maids. Then I started with the outfits, and I designed like our first Mack Maid shirts were like very, very basic, but I was like so proud of them. Um, and then I got us like these hot pink totes for cleaning, and I got our names embroidered on the side. And one of my girlfriends at the time, she was like, I think it was like 2021. Is that the company? It was like a embroidery company that was like super popular then. So I was like, oh, I was like, this bag is fabulous because it has so many pockets for like putting all the cleaning supplies. And so I got those made. And so basically started by like collecting everything, getting everything ready. And then I was like, all right, now I got to find girls. So I put out some hiring ads and we met at the Starbucks. Because with house cleaning, there's times you have to go from one house to another. So I kind of wanted to know, like, I kept saying you needed reliable transportation on my interviews, and people would show up with somebody dropping them off, or they would be like, "Oh no, no, but I can take the bus." I'm like, "Where we live, you really can't take the bus and then lug your vacuum, your mop, your bag, everything." So I would sit outside the Starbucks just to make sure they had a vehicle. It did not matter what kind, just a vehicle. So I was holding these interviews, and I was like, "Hey, I have this house cleaning company. I just moved from the West Coast. We're here on the East Coast. What's your cleaning experience?" So I met all these women, and I was like, "Okay, well, how do you know if they're a good cleaner or not just by having an interview with them?" And you don't. You have no clue. So I decided I was going to take four of my top interviewers, and we were going to go an on-site clean. So we show up at this house and we all pull in, we walk up together, and I said, "Okay, here's the deal. There are two adults here and two children. They both work. Kids are at school. We're going to go in, we're going to clean this house. Let's spoil them. Let's do a really good job. I'm going to partner you each up with, somebody to work with. You're going to attack this area. You're going to attack this area." Because I wanted to see how they worked as a team. I wanted to check their skills. So we go in, we start cleaning. Well, 10 minutes into the clean, these girls are laughing so hard in the master bedroom. And I was like, ladies, what's going on in here? What's so funny? They're like, "Oh my gosh." They're like, "Do you see this headboard?" I look at this headboard. They're like, "There is handprints and face prints all over this headboard. No wonder this house, this a homemade or the people that live here need us to clean their home." They're like, "No wonder the people here need us to clean our home. She's only good at one thing." I was like, "Oh my gosh. Okay, girls, no, no, no. Get back to work. Get back to work." So they got back to work. A few minutes later, they're like laughing again, something else in the house that they saw, and I was like, listen, like, I know you think this is funny, but like, let's stay on task. Let's like, seeing, anyway, girls did a great job. And they were just like, oh my gosh, like, we found this chain. Oh, we found this money. Where should we put it? This is out of place. I'm sure she's missing this jewelry. Where should we put this? And so anyway, clean the whole house. Fast forward 2 weeks later, the girls come back to the house and I answer the door. I had taken down every single picture in my house of me and the kids. So that headboard was mine and the stuff they found was mine. Um, they were absolutely embarrassed, completely embarrassed for all the comments they made because there was a lot of comments that were made and I held my tongue, not letting them know I was the home housekeeper. I was the homemaker that lived there. So anyway, she just turned around and said, oh my gosh, fire me now. I'm so embarrassed. And I said, actually, I'm going to hire you because this is the standard that I want to have is that when we're in a home, you never know if the homeowner is home. You never know if there's camera being recorded. You never know that if you're saying something about another client, this is such a small town that they might know who you're talking about, and we're not going to be that company. So we got started on a really, really good foot about privacy. And privacy, I think, is the absolute number one most important thing that you can have as a housekeeper. So anyway, that is just the quick intro to how my company actually got started. But I loved it because we were in a very military area. And so because we got the reputation for being very, very, like, we don't talk about things, however their life is their life. They felt that privacy. They felt that trust. They felt like we could be in their homes. We just had a standard of this is who we are and this is what we stand for. So I love that it just started with 2 girls. Because I couldn't hire both, all 4 at the same time, but they were all great. But I told the other 2, like, wait around. I promise I'm going to get us real busy and then I'll come back and have to hire you. So shortly after, I want to say it was only about a month later, I got so busy because it was word of mouth. We were very good. And I started with my neighborhood, started with my friends at the gym, just said, hey, who wants house cleaning? I'm doing training at cost in your home just to kind of get us started. And from there, we went from 2 girls to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and bam, we just kept growing. So before COVID, we were actually grew to 3 states. North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. We also, at that time, we owned a painting company that kind of spiraled off. Clifton started that because we were cleaning apartment complexes. And the apartment complex was so proud of us. They were just like, man, you guys are so responsible. You're on time. You're professional. And they said, we need a painting company. Do you know anybody? And so my husband actually took that division over and he found some painters and started a painting company. So we had a painting company and a maid company in the States and just kept growing it from there. So anyway, just wanted to give you a little intro of how Mack Maids got started. So if you want to start your own maid company, I love consulting. I love helping. Reach out to me. Ask me any questions. I've got 10 years worth of experience right here. So I'm waiting to share it with you.